I think this is the warmest introduction I've ever had. Got a few minutes of poems prepared. This should have more of a coherent arc to it. The first one is called The Hierophant, and it's part of a project I have where I catalog all the places I spend the most time and why they make me feel the way they do, and it's mostly grocery stores. Form the letters of the word with your hands, W, A, L, and then move like a sclerotic dervish. Do the butt wiggle at the squiggle where the dash goes in the word, and don't look pained or tired. Enthusiasm manifest outwardly signals Walmart material. Failure feeds the sarcophagus. M, A, R, T, with our hands, and the leader calls questing, "What's that spell?" And we answer buoyant, "Walmart." And she asks, "Who is number one?" And we explode, "The customer." Whose Walmart is it? My Walmart. Another backroom brother, Dan, hurts the back of his head real bad when his fellow freight hand drops a pallet of Coke products while he's bent forward lifting. Blood on the polyethylene and polyethylene in the blood. He goes home and stays gone. Finish the word of power, chant and cheer with all the vital air in our lungs. Walmart, Walmart, Walmart. And we end like a negated family, purged and breathless and hurting, like we are giving birth to the future, and I am already subsumed. I am gone. Dan never gets compensation. The head injury makes living alone difficult, even without that fight. He just kind of keeps going as best he can by himself. You are going nowhere. Enter into the priesthood or be entombed, part-time eternal. Please wait for an associate. Thank you. Just continuing in with the theme of horrific grocery store feelings. This is one of my favorites to read because I have it completely memorized. It's called Make Me Whole. The food here makes you a better person for buying it. They let you pay with your palm. The food here makes you live longer, live better, be better, superfoods, functional foods. The meat here is certified schmertified, ethical schmethical, methodically separated from the bad guy supply chains. The fish here is hardly ever slave labor tilapia. The drugs here will supercharge your consciousness. They will make you better, faster, stronger, like Mr. Limitless from the motion picture Limitless. Cordyceps in the coffee, too smart to be a cordyceps zombie. Zombie, zombie, it's in your head. Vascular health for easy breath, breathe deep of our distressed industrial chic. Fancy roped soap hope to wash off all sins. Please be good and toss distinct refuse in distinct bins. We got the receipts here, only ethical consumption here. We pinky swear, meat humanely slaughtered, slaughtered, humanely raised, touching grass like cows should before their 20-year lifespan ends at year 3. They touch grass once or twice on their way to the bolt gun and forced separation from their offspring. The food here comes bulk. They let you weigh it out. Feel a deep, sweet, rare sense of connection, a cessation of alienation from the labor that brought you these nuts you so proudly press now into nut butter. The food here tells a story. The food here has a mission statement. The food here wants your gratitude. The food here passes the ethics tax along to you because shareholders hold shares, and that is the most sacred of holy, unholy, whole food. Food rules. Food rules us. It has us by the stomach we get sick to when we see smuggled footage of the killing floors and sweatshops. Moral chops hold our souls as hostages. Watch us take out second mortgages to afford moral porridges and oranges. The food here passes the Bechdel test. The food here is sardonic and aggressive. Liquid death, dead billionaire tears. The food here respects your class fears earned in hard years. The food here won't haunt you or stop you when you get to anarchist heaven. Bezos, sell me a story with me as the hero, and not just the scrabbling, scavenging gut flora of yet another cosmic horror, corporate cyborg collective as judgy as any culty megachurch wholesomeness. When she came back fresh from homelessness out west, she saw her first ever Whole Foods in Raleigh, and she thought it looked kind of like the co-ops they had out there, and she went to the service desk and asked if they maybe had like a food stamps discount, and they just sort of looked at her with these eyes that scan and fail to understand, like she grew a second head. Whole Foods, You make me whole. You fill the hole in my soul in this place where we priced out the poor who must panhandle for a jar of peanut butter right around the corner. You absolve me, bind me, tithe me. At least you mostly don't treat me like a sneak thief in the parking lot of Maseratis by the Berkshire condos with the first floor, third spaces, places where you can pretend, easy peasy, that the structure has no rupture, that it isn't all just slow, leaning, screaming, collapsing, and trapping by the yoga studios and manscaping establishments. Whole Foods. Holy and holy Whole Foods, won't you make me whole? Thank you. I love reading that one. I wrote this one a few days ago, so it hasn't been workshopped or done in front of a group of fellow poets or anything. It's kind of a spring poem. The water is a mirage. April is when the slain demigods rise as undead liches. April is when lilies of the valley push up through dead body ditches. When the crimes of autumn come to light. When it no longer matters if you wanted to fight. And April is when we look back at the winter of feeling too old, a winter too short and too cold, then 90 degrees in early March, and the world is already on fire, and April is when the burning world keeps turning. And I think April is the cruelest month because there exists an obscenity of betrayals between us and those we lost this year, last year, bad years lost in the fog of pretending everything is fine, only good vibes. And I think April is the cruelest month because the deep early modernists breathed of death at scale, their patrons and daughters and fathers and sons reduced to blood lake crater toxic waste dumps, rolling green hills filled with mutagenic spent artillery shells. They never saw us. They had hope. They never saw us just regress right back to trenches and chemical weapons and human waves of meat and fiber optics and famines. They never saw carpet bombing. They never saw what we created, an actual wasteland of enthralled silicon mines sucking the aquifers dry to conjure phantoms and launder lies. We became what we became. We became what we must. Glossolalia stuffed with a handful of dust. T.S. Eliot was way too cheerful to have dreamt of us. And I think April is the cruelest month because the water isn't water, isn't water. The water is a shimmer in the distance. It's a lie to bend your path in circles, learning nothing, all for nothing, all for nothing. So of course, the month of full bloom after the fall starts in ambushes of March. Of course, shorts and jogging and gentle warm rain and some real hours of real sun lands for you like a lead balloon. Of course, the first month of warm weather troop movements. When the anesthesia wears off. Of course, when the gentle change of seasons of the stable climate of your youth comes crashing, sputtering all at once. Of course, April, March, February in the Anthropocene is the cruelest month, and T.S. Eliot died a long time ago. I looked it up. He actually died in 65. He actually saw a lot of stuff. I should have given the modernists a little bit more legs there. How much time do I have?
I didn't check.
Okay.
But one more should be good.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to skip what I had planned and do Jackboot work, which is an ode to the men I've been told are on the streets to keep me safe. They sent in you with a check, or the promise of a check, to be the threat that you warned us about. To be the faceless villains, hiding behind masks and patches and badges, acting like cartels and brown shirts and bandits, demanding tribute and traffic, free labors and favors, ruining people and places in fits and rages, recoiling at phones and barking out orders, acting out untreated antisocial disorders, and smashing up homes demanding hard acquiescence against our own better instincts and our own better senses, just treating human beings like vermin. And you're so damn easy to rile up, and you're so damn eager to cover up that pit of self-loathing that keeps it all going, that terror that somebody somewhere isn't showing you respect. Respect for the cobwebs and dust in your mind. Respect you feel due for being born in this time of cowards and liars and bullies and thugs with punchable faces and twisted up mugs. That respect you feel due that you've never earned. You just showed up and armed up until cities burned, and you're not really worried about being caught doing it. On account of the last time you got away with just doing it, but Jackboot work is harder than it looks. You get no thanks, and you get blamed for the ruination of places and pointless smashing of faces, and all the in-group support in the world can't hide that you kind of became what it looks like when men betray their own homes for a lie. And you can't even point to Somalia on a map. You're just here to fill out boots in the mass of a goon pack. You're a dog in a hen house. You belong in a basement. You're the natural end stage of incel debasement. You've got rules and rules for me and not thee. Just don't ask what they are, or panic, or scream, or whistle, or run, or record thee, or ignore thee, or exist in thine general vicinity, or implore thee for safety, or logic, or order, or mercy, or a living morality that applies universally. And then what happens next? Do you go home in peace? Do you take the mask off and lie down and sleep? Do you display your challenge coins? Do you explain what they mean? Are you really okay going through the rest of your years being seen? Is it like this forever? Or are you just in a gang? Did you really become the exact thing they claimed you were here to contain? So you don't talk about it, and you keep to your own. You know what it looks like when decent people are shown the fruits of your labor and the dust of your mind, the wreckage and funerals that you left behind, so you hide your own face, and you hide your own mind, and you hide your own guilt behind lies upon lies, like a death's head tattoo that you can't cover up, like a brand from your owners that you can't laser off because it just comes right back and it smears and spreads like a staging infection that's gone wild and raging and begging for detection, and you can't shake this feeling, like a bad premonition that you're going to be stuck here forever in this hole of perdition. And we can tell, we can see all the signs. The markers aren't subtle. It's all there in the eyes. And hey, dude, was it worth it? Your sign-on bonus? Do you feel like a big hero? Is this everything you hoped it would be? Thank you.